Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Young Warriors fan caught in 4K betraying his team during blowout loss. The Sacramento Kings blew out the Golden State Warriors 129-99 on Sunday at Chase Center, and it was such a beatdown that it decided to change allegiances in the fourth quarter. The Kings broadcast caught a young fan putting on a Demantis Saban jersey over a Stephen Curry Warriors jersey. Fans hilariously reacted to the youngster switching allegiances. Pretty much 80% of their fans after 2015 one claimed this sums up the majority of the Warriors fan base. We don't need that fair weather fan. One Kings fan does not want this fair weather supporter. Something tells me this might have been staged for the broadcast. One fan brought out a conspiracy theory that was pretty funny. Poor kid is going to get roasted though. One fan felt for the kid. Kid can't go to school tomorrow now, better at least send him some gear. One hilariously stated the kid wouldn't be going to school the next day. This young man certainly would be getting roasted when he goes to school, and even in his neighborhood he's going to have a hard time shedding that bandwagon label. As for the act in itself, it would have been unimaginable for over a decade or so for someone to wear a Kings jersey over Warriors. One team was busy winning 4 titles while the other languished near the bottom of the standings in the Western Conference. Times have somewhat changed now though. The Warriors are no longer title contenders, and while the Kings aren't either, they appear to be trending upward. With this win they're now 4-1 under interim head coach Doug Christie and have improved to 17-19 on the season. As for the Warriors, this loss was their 14th in the last 20 games and they have dropped to 18-17. Some salt was rubbed into the players, coaches and fans' wounds at the end of this game too, as like the bean chants broke out at Chase Center. What Steph Curry said after Kings blew out Warriors: he has a P. The Sacramento Kings have now won 4 straight games after they blew out the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. The Kings dismantled the Warriors, winning 129-99, and the contest wasn't close. Sacramento took control early and held it for 48 minutes. When the club initially fired Mike Brown, there was so much flack headed their way, whether it be opposing coaches, fans or general media. The Kings were being bashed. Now they are 4-0 with an interim head coach and look to be course correcting now. The Warriors' wheels have been falling off lately as they aren't the same team they were in October and November. Steve Kerr's squad was thriving while getting a big impact from a variety of key role players. Now it's glaring they need another shot creator and additional star alongside Steph Curry. After the Kings blew out the Warriors, Curry had quite a blunt statement. Sacramento jumped on them early and they didn't have the weapons or capability of bouncing back when you're looking up. And it's a double-digit ad before the first timeout in 36-21. We not really built for it to have that crazy comeback. Curry said we haven't shown the ability to come back, and it's just one of those things where you don't want to be in that situation, especially in a back-to-back. We would have loved to have started the game a lot better to give ourselves a chance. Curry claiming to be not built as a team capable of making a comeback is true. They need a co-star alongside the franchise superstar and eventual Hall of Fame guard. They've got to make a move or two, because finding that in-house isn't going to happen. The Kings will happily benefit though. They got off to a great start which led to an eventual win to continue their STR streak as they continue to right the ship. Sources: the Pacers reason Warriors are watching Cam Johnson trade talks. With less than 5 weeks until the 2025 NBA trade deadline, the Golden State Warriors have some major decisions to make. General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr., owner Joe LaCab and the entire organization are on same page when it comes to finding ways to potentially win another championship with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. That is why several players like Cam Johnson have been linked to the Warriors in trade discussions, even after the team acquired Dennis Schroeder from the Brooklyn Nets. Before Schroeder went to Golden State, there were discussions had between the Nets and Warriors regarding Johnson. Those talks didn't go anywhere due to the Dubs' hesitance to surrender valuable assets at the time, draft picks and parts of their young core, while the Warriors have been more willing to explore all opportunities involving any of their players outside of Curry and Green. The idea of pursuing Johnson after acquiring Schroeder is still far-fetched due to the burden that the Nets forward's contract would carry, although Golden State isn't expected to seriously pursue Johnson before the February 6 trade deadline. His situation is still one that this team is monitoring for a couple of reasons outside of the idea that Johnson could go to one of the Warriors' Western Conference rivals. Another team that has emerged as a serious trade suitor for him is the Indiana Pacers. League sources told Clutch Points Johnson has been on Indiana's radar dating back to last season, and NBA insider Mark Stein recently reported the Pacers could possibly make a run at the Nets forward in the midst of his sixth NBA season. Johnson is averaging 19.5 points and 4.3 rebounds per game while shooting 43.6% from three-point range. His two-way abilities and three-point shooting are what make the 28-year-old the most sought-after trade deadline target this season. While Johnson is making $22.5 million this season, his overall apron salary is $27 million, making it near impossible for the Warriors to target him unless they were to part ways with either Andrew Wiggins or Schroeder in a package. Still, the Warriors are monitoring this situation because of who the Pacers would need to give up in a trade for Johnson. The Pacers and Nets recently held trade discussions surrounding Johnson. Sources said even though the two sides were not close to finalizing a deal, conversations between the two sides led to whispers around the league of a potential package featuring Obi Toppin, Aaron Nesmith, at least one unprotected first-round pick, and other draft assets. Jarrett Walker, who the Pacers have not been willing to include in trade discussions over the last year, is a player the Nets are high on. Sources said it is unknown if Indiana would be willing to move him for Johnson. Brooklyn has made it known to teams around the league that they don't want to take back significant salaries in any trades this season. That is why they acquired two Anthony Melton, D'Angelo Russell and Maxwell Lewis in their trades with the Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers. A potential Johnson trade involving the Pacers would see Toppin and Nesmith depart Indiana, and both players have multiple of years left on their respective contracts. The Warriors, sources said, have shown interest in Nesmith and are monitoring the 25-year-old status with the Pacers leading up to the trade deadline. Originally beginning his career with the Boston Celtics, Nesmith has made a name for himself with the Pacers over the last few seasons as a two-way swingman who can guard multiple positions. Leading up to the trade deadline, Golden State is prioritizing second talents who can help build a bridge between head coach Steve Kerr's first and second units. Given his team-friendly contract and his ability to be a catch-and-shoot threat on the wing, Nesmith is a player who can bring a lot to the table for Golden State. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Cam Johnson? Leave your opinion in the comments.